There we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Penultimate Conquest podcast, where we talk about everything to do with the video games industry. I'm your host, Ruben, and some special news came out this week. Ryan is officially my permanent co-host. That's it. He's no longer
Hey,
the
guys.
usual. He is now Ryan, the RPG guy.
I'll take RPG guy. Hey, guys.
Okay, all right. How's it going, Ryan?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself, Ruben?
It's Thursday, so I'm doing all right. Jesus Christ.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
I have two special co-hosts with me, well, guest hosts with me today. I have put that phone down, sir. I'm not up to you yet.
It's an audio podcast.
It's an audio podcast. I have with me Aaron and Jacob from Speaking of Stadia. How you guys doing today?
I am very good. How are you?
Like I said, it's Thursday. It's one step closer to Friday, so I'll take that. Yeah.
Thanks for having us on. I'm excited to be here.
Oh, don't thank me. Please thank yourself for agreeing to this. Jacob, how are you today?
I was doing great until this numbers just got put in my face. I'm assuming this is the last day since Splinter Cell was last released. I'm assuming, but
unfortunately, it is. So
that's a good guess, Jacob.
I also have here Nick.
That's not my name.
Sorry, that strong nerd, Nick.
All right. Now I need to ask one question. Is this mirrored for you guys, or can you see?
No, it's right. It's right for us.
So
unfortunately, it's correct.
All right. So
Nick's phone says.
Let's read it all. Let's read it all together. Oh, Ruben, you know what? You do it. You have the honor.
Okay. Nick's phone says 2,627 days since August 23rd, 2013, which was the last Splinter Cell game release. Nick, what game was that? Which Splinter Cell?
Blacklist, man.
I don't fucking know. I never played a Splinter Cell game.
I actually don't mind Splinter Cell. Like series great. Sorry, we'll move on from that. We gotta get it out of the way. Get it out of the way.
That's okay. That's all right. That's totally fine.
Today, I do have one quick question for Nick though. How many days since the last time Splinter Cell was good? Because I haven't liked him after 2.
Pandora Tomorrow? You didn't like? Wait, hold on. You didn't like Chaos?
I'm just trolling you. I love Splinter Cell. I just couldn't resist.
So today's topic is Amazon Luna and Google Stadia and Xbox X Cloud. I know that's not the name anymore, but I'm sticking to it because it's just very catchy. We're speaking about the future of video game streaming and what we think is going to happen, who we think is going to be here in the next 5 years. Let's start off with Aaron. Aaron, who do you think is going to be in the video game streaming business in the next 5 years?
First of all, thank you so much for calling it the future of gaming, because that's absolutely correct. That is where this industry is headed, without a doubt in my mind. To the point that I'm wondering if this is even our final console release, which I think is wild, but just saying. In 5 years, I think we're going to have... I think everybody can stand. I think Stadia needs to make some very important, crucial moves over the course of the next year, I would say. And unfortunately, Google is known for killing services. But I think you see Amazon, Stadia, Xbox, and I think PlayStation will enter this arena, I would say, within the next year.
Okay.
Well, I don't think they'll want to stay behind.
Just to inform you, I know that you're paid by Google, so you can't really talk shit about Stadia. So that's
my employee ID number is 499.
My employee ID number is also 499.
Whoa, it's weird that you guys have the same
employee.
employee.
Confused.
Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
What kind of car do you drive?
I'm so glad you caught that reference, Nick. Thank you.
Man.
Yeah, so I do think everybody stands, and I think PlayStation enters the arena all within the next year, and I think 5 years from now they'll all still be kind of fighting and competing.
I mean, PlayStation has already entered the arena.
And they were the first ones into the area, technically, if you really want to.
That's true.
Big companies, not clicking online.
I guess they'll put in real effort.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair. Nick, who do you think is going to be here in the next 5 years?
Who's going to be here? Microsoft is going to be here with their xCloud.
Okay.
Stadia will not be here with whatever they have going on over there. And
Okay.
I believe PlayStation will be entering the arena as well. And I think, Amazon has their Luna already going on. I wouldn't be surprised if Facebook starts a thing.
She did kind of, but I'll get to that one when I.
Like a more legit thing, more something that they can actually like show off. And then I don't see Nintendo doing it. I know they're doing these cloud games, but I mean, I don't see them actually.
Son of a bitch. That was going to be my ace in the hole, you know?
I don't see them moving forward with it. I mean, I don't think they're a company that can do that. I don't think so. I guess that's all for right now I can think of.
Okay. But again, I need to reiterate, PlayStation is already in.
Yeah, but like what you said also, they're going to actually like put more effort into it.
Okay.
PlayStation's in.
Yeah,
I mean, I still think Stadia is going to be in it. I think they've invested money into studios. They're still looking and opening studios. I definitely think they're invested for a few years going forward at the very least. I do wish the heads of the company would get more public, but that's another thing. I obviously think PlayStation not enter, but have a more fleshed out service, more versatile than just being, hey, you can stream your games on a PlayStation. That's kind of limiting. I'm not sure if it even has PC support for PlayStation now. I can't remember.
It does not. I don't think it does.
If it does, like they need to make it more fleshed out and in that way, more devices it's available on. xCloud, yeah, I think xCloud obviously be still around. Microsoft's a big company. They're investing tons of money into it, and just even beyond the Xbox itself, they're a big software company. I don't see Microsoft going away. And then Luna, I think Luna's. I mean, that's the thing. At this point, it gets too saturated. So, like, will Luna stay around? I think they will, just because people like their business model a little bit more. Possibly, I think Stadia needs to adapt their business model a little bit, but Luna with their business model with the like channels, the a la carte kind of, like a la carte channels at least. I think it's a good start. I think it's better than just doing one subscription service and being the whole thing. In terms of valuing games. Nintendo, like you guys said, Nintendo just figured out what the internet was in the last 2 years. So I don't think they're going to.
I think you mean the last 2 months. Okay.
Yeah, my constant joke was that I think the people in Nintendo, their calendars are set back to 2004 or around that era. So they still think it's that old. So yeah, so I don't think I mean, it's cool that they're trying stuff. I mean, they've tried it in the last few years in Japan. Now they're finally getting out west, and it actually seems like it's a good rollout in terms of region coverage. But surprisingly, but I've heard mixed things about it. The queue lines are like ridiculously long. Granted, it's just the first day, but yeah, kind of that's pretty much where I see it at. I mean, I think at least those four. I think at least PlayStation, Google, Amazon, and what was then Stadia. I think those four will be around.
No, you said Google already.
I said well, PlayStation, Xbox, then and
okay.
Google.
God, I was gonna be pissed if my co-host forgot Stadia on this podcast.
no, I'm pretty sure I said Google already.
Just to confirm, PS Now is on PC.
It is okay. I couldn't remember. I thought it might be, but even still, it just needs to be more fleshed out in terms of like at least somewhat available on phones. Like,
yeah, I agree.
I think that's the next step. If they already have remote play working, it shouldn't be that difficult. But
I mean, remote play really sucks on mobile.
I only ever used it on my
bad.
Vita, and even then, it wasn't great either.
Yeah.
I know it's.
I did use it as a controller though. Actually, I might play Vita as a controller, and it actually worked pretty well.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Ryan, who do you think will be here in the next 5 years?
Who do I think is going to be here in the next 5 years in this niche genre of gaming streaming? Oh, I think Stadia will still be here. xCloud. I think PlayStation will find a way in that will flesh out PlayStation Now. And I think Amazon's going to kill Luna. Because Amazon just keeps killing all gaming ventures they have. They treat it like a toy. They play with it for about a year and a half, and then they just drop it. They keep doing that with games they put out, and I don't see them continually wanting to flood money into this games ecosystem. When, especially if someone like Sony jumps in and puts actual effort and time into this, that it could become a bigger thing.
Okay.
The only reason I think with Luna is because they have the servers. They're like I mean, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's like them or Azure is like the number 1, number 2 for
Yep.
like servers. So
AWS is.
I could see them just that, like they already have it. The infrastructure set up, just it's not as much of an investment as you'd probably think. Somewhere for Google.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but if
think-
they jump out of the arena, they can monetize those servers and start selling those out to other people who are into cloud gaming and
True.
just
I mean,
make all the money without having to deal about the service.
So I could
Similar with,
definitely
like-
see
sorry,
them
that's
selling
right.
their infrastructure. I could definitely see them selling their infrastructure to a different company.
I think you guys are putting a little too not a lot of faith in Amazon. I think, and Ryan, sorry to cut you off. I think that Amazon already has Twitch. Why not double down on that money and they already sell their servers to companies that can use it for game streaming, but why not just like put a little more money into that infrastructure and figure it out, and boom, you got more money coming in to double down on Twitch, to double down on you're putting more money into the gaming side of stuff, gaming development. Why not just, like, I think that they were smart enough to think of, hey, we should probably do some game streaming. I know, like, the most recent game that Amazon put out, I think they just put it out for beta. What was that?
I think it's New World is the MMO that they put out.
Yeah, they put it out. It was in beta, then they put it out for release, and then they took it back and decided to cancel it. But I think this is what they need to focus on right now for them to what's the word? To thrive in the gaming industry. And I go right ahead, Ryan.
Ruben, I want to throw this idea into your head. What if they sell their infrastructure to, let's say, Epic? Because I could see Epic wanting in on this. I could see Epic putting a whole infrastructure in for their personal.
Yeah, I can see Epic becoming like a channel similar to how like Ubisoft and whatnot is on these services. I could see them being like EA having its own channel kind of thing. I don't see Epic investing that heavy. They don't have a good portfolio. They have Fortnite, and then they're leveraging that to have Epic Games on top of that. They bought a few of the small studios, but I don't think they have the portfolio to really have a full. Granted, Stadia doesn't either, but I
think I see it going a Stadia route though, of them teaming with these teams they've already worked with throughout the store. Because let's be real here, the Epic's Game Store has made them a lot of money and very well off with developers for the way it monetizes games for them. I could definitely see them making a good partnership for where they're like, you let us put this on our streaming platform. This is the cut you get, all this kind of thing. I could definitely see them doing that with Amazon's help.
That reminds me, I need to download Blair Witch Project from the Epic Game Store for free.
You need to. You only have a few days left.
Yeah. Currently doing that right now. Sorry. Yeah, but again, I haven't turned on my Xbox in like about 5 years.
I don't believe it.
I played Rise Fall of Rome and then put it away.
I played Halo. No, I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I turned it on like 2 years ago to play Final Fantasy 13 from Xbox 360 because I was too lazy to plug in my Xbox 360.
You turned it on.
There's no good games.
Lightning. That was the reason.
Okay, you're gonna shit on Final Fantasy 13, but that game was a good game. But we're not here to discuss Final Fantasy 13.
13's only okay.
I didn't hear anything you just said.
Final Fantasy 13 is only okay. But
I
that's
mean,
okay.
is it their
Fine game.
greatest game? No, it's not.
15 was way
Well,
better.
15 was way better, but it's not their worst game.
No, not at all.
We all
Could've been
played
a lot
Final
better.
Fantasy VIII. Final Fantasy VIII is just.
I still want that versus 13 that they showed us
Yeah,
back in the. I want that game still. But
I also want that game still, but it is what it is. Let's talk about. Sorry, was everybody finished talking about?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think we covered
I'm
who
covered
we
for
think's gonna be
next
around.
I actually didn't say who I think was going to be around, but that's okay.
Well, you can go.
Who do you think's gonna be around? You tell us.
I think
Nintendo and only
Microsoft-
Nintendo.
That's right.
Just
That's right.
kidding. Being
I
strange.
think Microsoft is going to pivot to streaming only in 5 years. I think they're not going to release another console because why bother? Why bother putting all that money into releasing a console when we could just release Chromecast? 15 not $15, but $45 and just ship it out with controllers. $100 for a controller and a Chromecast.
And to back you up on that, like they've never been a hardware company until the last 5 or so years. I mean, with the service product line, like they are not a hardware company. They want to be a software company. So
Yeah, 100%. They want to move units, and that's their goal.
Yep. I
So
definitely.
You're saying with Xbox that they're gonna just be streaming only?
I think that Xbox is going to be streaming only, but I also think that they will continue to develop video games, but it'll only be on Xbox,
platform.
on the Xbox platform. Yes.
It-
Besides the
to that
Bethesda
point-
stuff,
To that point, I actually really think we're going to start seeing a lot more emphasis on exclusivity. And you are going to see people like Google paying big money to have Ubisoft be exclusive to Stadia. And I think Bethesda was proof of that move. And I think that's exactly why. I think Xbox is trying to make it a streaming only. And I think this game, like video games, is really going to shift into what we're seeing in the film industry right now, which is who got it on Netflix? Like, what does Disney Plus have? What does HBO Max have? And you're going to be playing that same game. Like, do I need Stadia to play this? Do I need Amazon to play this? And I think it's going to become kind of that war where we're not moving boxes anymore. We're trying to move games. And I think that's going to be, I think you're going to see a huge shift towards that in the next 5 to 10 years.
which for me is unfortunate because I am such a fan of physical copies of stuff. Like I just don't trust anybody saying, "Oh yeah, this digital copy is yours and it'll be yours forever." Amazon just put out I think it was an interview that said, or somebody had said that anything that you guys get from Prime Video is not really yours. It's just
Wrong.
you have it there.
It's your license.
You're licensing it. You're essentially taking a lease of a license for the product. Even when you buy a game digitally now, they can technically pull that game from you whenever they want. They're not going to because it's not good. It's not good. It's not consumer friendly, but they absolutely have every right to. You're just getting a license for that game. You don't own that game if you buy digitally.
It's not going to happen in your lifetime. Like it's not going to happen like in next year. They're not going to pull like Sony or Xbox. They're not just going to pull all those digital games out of your library.
No, I know it's not happening, but I'm just saying that just like Prime is saying, like you don't own what you have digitally. You don't own that. You're
right.
renting it essentially, more or less. You're leasing it.
Yeah,
So.
exactly.
I don't think Xbox will be just streaming only though. I think what you're saying right now, they might release like a little
Chromecast.
like a Chromecast or a dongle that you plug into your TV, but streaming only like how Stadia is, I don't think so. I think they're really going down the route of downloading the games. So if they do release something standalone like that where you hook it up to the TV, it will probably be like some type of hard drive where you can store downloaded games in there.
But even that,
Which is basically the Xbox. What the Xbox
you still need something to process it.
Yeah. So let me be clear.
It's like it's a video.
I think that it'll probably be like Amazon's Fire TV, like the big one. I don't know if you guys recently saw it.
It's the Xbox One X in half. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
Series X cut in half.
Yeah, of course. I think it's going to be a box, but it's not. You can't put physical games in there. Like all your physical games are going to be like they'll give you a code for it, and it's all digital now.
Right.
You just have to make sure that you have the proof that it's yours. I think Amazon is definitely still going to be in this. I believe Google is taking the right steps right now.
Baby steps.
Baby steps, but steps nonetheless.
Right.
Now, they killed it with, I'm glad that they were able to get Cyberpunk 2077 at launch.
Which caused the
Because-
delay. Which caused the delay.
It did not cause a delay.
No. I think that is a huge deal for them. And I think it will move subscriptions for them, probably, because I'm still on the fence of how I'm getting Cyberpunk 2077. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to upgrade my PC on time, or if I'm going to get it for the PS5, or why not just fucking get it at Stadia?
I don't
Yeah,
see
I'm
people-
going Stadia day
I don't
one
see
for
people
sure.
buying it on Stadia though. If they have
I'm
a
not saying, yeah, but instead of you buying it at Stadia, let's say, hey, I don't have money to buy. I sold my PS4 because of financial hard times. I sold my Xbox because of financial hard times. I only have a controller and I want to play Cyberpunk 2077, but
yeah, I mean, if you have no console at all, then yeah, Stadia will be the route.
Not accurate. I have an Xbox One X and a PS4 Pro, and I'm getting the PS5 day one, and I'm getting it on Stadia. The reason is that game is gigantic. Of course, I want to be able to play it anywhere. I'll never be able to finish it if I have to play it on my TV. And there are a lot of people out there who just they can't. They have families. It's shifted. The gaming culture and the gaming community is getting older, and we are having kids, and we do not have as much time. So the reason I'm getting it on Stadia, and the reason I've been so I guess excited about this is because it does give me that ability to play these massive games without having to stay up until 1 a.m. after my kid is in bed, and I can just play it anywhere. And I think that's the big appeal. And I think that is going to move some people towards it. The large majority, Nick, no, I don't think so. I think you'll see the more sales, like when they release their numbers, I think the majority is going to be on console, but I think we're going to be surprised at how well it does on Stadia.
and
Well,
I think, sorry, go ahead, Nick.
I was just gonna ask, like, have there been any numbers out for like games that they do have on Stadia? Like, how many downloads or?
Well,
how
that's the
many...
thing. They're mostly all old games.
Yeah, but
what's
there's
that?
no like, there's no
Now they're
like,
getting a bunch.
Yeah,
So-
no. So I don't. I haven't seen any. I don't know.
No, the only like
Yeah.
real big little game they've had so far, like day and date, was Doom Eternal. That's the only one I can think of up until now. And then Avengers. It's only two really big ones right now, but they're getting Legion, which just came out. Then they're getting Assassin's Creed and Immortals and
Yeah, I think we'll
Cyberpunk.
start
So they're
seeing
getting a
those,
bunch of
like,
them coming up. I
numbered
think we'll see
games.
more numbers on that now, especially with
Yeah.
Ubisoft. Well, I guess we'll talk about it in a little bit probably, but Ubisoft Plus, whatever it is now, that subscription service coming to Stadia and Luna. I think we'll see more numbers when that kind of comes out too.
You actually brought up something I was curious about, and a concern I have with Stadia in this streaming future is that one of the titles on there that you mentioned, the big one, was Doom Eternal. And for me personally, I own a Stadia. I have that dumbass controller sitting around somewhere in this room. Not
Great
like
controller,
Ruben keeps
actually.
it next to him.
Put some respect on that name.
It's a horrible controller. The Ouya had a
It's
better
really
one.
not. It's an ugly looking controller, but it's.
Yeah, I think it's actually a nice looking controller personally.
I don't like the orange.
Oh, you like the orange on the two tone on the sticks?
Yeah, I don't like this.
Oh, actually, I have wasabi, so I guess I'm a little biased.
Okay. All right,
But
that's fair.
But where I was going with this is, I think one of the things they need to work on, if they are going to survive in this 5 years, is making games that are not linear or that are not big action games, RPGs, games where you're playing against multiplayer games, playable on that thing. Because I tried Destiny on it, because that was the big selling game they had when this thing first came out. I remember was Destiny, and the lag for me was just too noticeable for me to be able
Really?
to play it.
because
Yeah.
I had
Check
really
it
because I had a
out.
friend who plays Destiny religiously, hundreds and hundreds of hours into Destiny 2.
Yeah, I'm about
I had him play on mine on Wi-Fi because I don't even play on hardline. I was playing on Wi-Fi on my TV, and he's like, it feels amazing. Like I wouldn't even be able to notice the difference.
I
had
He was,
my
he was
Chromecast.
crushing in Crucible. He was absolutely destroying people in Crucible.
I had my
So-
Chromecast hardwired in, and there was no lag for me whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've played Destiny on both or laptop phone and TV and haven't had any issues.
Yeah, the
That's
only time I remember
actually-
actually playing Hardline is actually on my PC here. Otherwise, on the TV, it's I don't my how my setup is. I can't get the internet up there, so it's a little frustrating. But
Doom Eternal ran a little rough for me day one, but they patched it super quick, and it's been console smooth since then too.
I think
We're
Stadia
now
just
considering
fix
things
their-
console smooth, which I think is funny because that's going back to the days of arcade perfect.
yeah, it's true. No, actually, the funny thing is, I actually saw a few different breakdowns of frame rates or input latency for Doom Eternal specifically after the patch. And the input latency on Stadia was actually less than Xbox. Xbox is around 93 milliseconds, while on Stadia is like 82. So actually, with the patch, it was actually before the patch was like 120 milliseconds, and actually went like almost half. So it actually made it very comparable, if not better, than console. So
Interesting.
granted,
Yeah, 'cause I tried my
Sorry, no.
Stadia and I was just like, concept's good, not play a shoot on this, and that's why I'm so nervous of this terrifying streaming future you boys are talking about here. 'Cause my two main games is I play multiplayer shooters and I play fighting games, and fighting games just cannot be played streamed.
Yeah.
Lag
Yeah.
there.
I haven't tried any besides I think Samurai Showdown, which I'm very bad at, and the more my what's it called Mighty Morphin Power Rangers one, which is fine.
I
Power
was terrible
Rangers.
at that game, but Mortal Kombat was also great on Stadia for me. I bought 11 and really enjoyed it.
I feel like Stadia just needs to fix their reputation. Everybody makes fun of it when it gets brought up.
It's the problem.
I agree. I think they didn't just trip like at their release; they face planted, and they've been battling that ever since. It unfortunately they just immediately became the meme and the joke, and they got to turn that around. And I think moves like Immortal being an exclusive demo on Stadia was huge, especially when
That
you
was-
didn't have to be pro. It was just like, hey, give us your email, you're good, log in, check it out. That's going to get people to realize that this tech it's come a long ways and that they've made a lot of moves since their launch.
I have to give credit to Stadia. How Ruben was talking about his Xbox is how I was to use my Stadia. This is the first time I've used my Stadia since around the launch of the thing. Or Mortals, and it played that fine. Was I a fan of the game? No, but it ran it fantastically.
Sure.
It's fair enough. I heard criticism of the game. I think I enjoyed my time with it, but again, it's not for everyone. And like you said, it's from what you described how you play games. It's not really a game that is probably your type anyway. So
It's not. I mean,
Hey.
this is well known on this podcast. We are not a Breath of the Wild group.
Yeah. We take a steamy shit on Breath of the Wild. This game is not good. Okay.
That's not.
Okay.
Huge,
Good, I mean-
huge Legend of Zelda fan. I'm not a fan of Breath of the Wild.
I can't tell that you're a huge fan. I don't know what's behind you. I don't even know. Like
That's Captain America's shield and sword.
That's Thor's hammer, but it got messed up in the delivery.
Oh. I think that PlayStation is going to be PlayStation and focus on this is probably where you would think that they shine best. They focus on their videos focus on first player narratives. So what's the best thing to probably stream on streaming? It would be these type of games. So I think that yes, they will probably be one of the last ones to like actually get into the race. I think that eventually once they do, they're going to kick ass and take names.
I just wonder which way Stadia goes. Stadia. PlayStation goes with the business model, because Stadia gets a lot of flack for being you buy the games individually.
Yeah.
Which, as the guy that wants to support studios, I like that actually. Granted, it makes it hard for me to play a lot of games, but I don't have a lot of time to play games anyway, so I'm going to buy a game and give right to the studio. Where we don't really fully understand how the payouts are for these streaming service or the subscription services with like Game Pass. Correct. How are these developers being paid or publishers being paid? Are they getting paid per play, per time? Like are they just getting a lump sum and then the game's on there? We don't really know. So, or how it's going to go going forward and evolve. So I wonder with them, with the single player games, those PlayStation loving and really priding those games, if they're going to put them on like Xboxes with Game Pass, putting all their games on this subscription service. I don't see them going that route, especially with how they're handling PC and moving games over to PC. They're putting games that are older on the PC, or, well, Kojima did all the work getting that engine working on PC. So hey, let's get Horizon on PC. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how they go forward with that, just because of the scrutiny behind that whole mindset.
Yeah, but again, they just recently turned the page on. Yeah, we're gonna start putting PlayStation games on PC.
Yeah, and they even talked about saying they're open to putting future games on PC too. So.
Yeah, so like I said, it's gonna take them. They're probably gonna be one of the last people to do it, but eventually, when they decide to actually, hey guys, this actually is a good idea, we should probably start doing this, they're gonna kick ass and take names.
Yeah.
And of course, we can't forget Nintendo. Nintendo surprised me pretty. It was a big surprise when I saw 2 games as cloud games, and I wonder if this is the move that they're going to make. Hey, we know we're definitely not 4K. I think, what is it, 1080p?
1080p.
The Switch is 1080p docked, and then the
1080p docked, 720, I believe.
But who knows what the streaming output's going to be? Because even like xCloud is only 720p still. So
yeah, I think Nintendo's streaming like 8-bit right now.
Yeah. I think even if
16,
like you need an internet connection to play these games that are I think it was Hitman and Control.
Hitman 3 and Control, yeah.
Yes. Hitman and Control, you need a constant internet access. So why not just use it on docked? I know the whole point is to be a hybrid console, but I think it would be smarter for people to use it on docked. But of course, it all depends on the person. Yeah. So I think you're going to start to see more of Nintendo doing more of this. If that makes sense, you're going to start to see more. Yeah.
I don't think so.
We'll see. I don't think it's going to be first party. I think it'll definitely be with third party games.
Streaming services on their devices, but I don't think they're going to really go full out themselves.
I'm saying they're just going to follow this route, that they're just going to put, hey, the next Control game is going to be on a cloud version only.
It also makes it interesting when they do the inevitable, how that's going to all work out too. If they're going to abandon the strategy of streaming stuff or still go forward with it, if that's the narrative going on for around that time. Like, is streaming really getting more serious by that point? The time that they released the Pro.
When do we see the Pro?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, if the Pro's within the next year, I think that changes that narrative slightly, because then they have hardware that can support more current gen games at the time.
True, but I still think that, hey, why not just still also put it on the regular Switch? We have how many Switches out in the wild that aren't the lights?
Like 30 million, I think.
30 million.
Regular aren't the light. Okay, sorry. Okay.
Yes, that aren't the light. 30 million Switches around the world. Imagine even a fraction of the people. Let's say it's going to be 15 million Switch Pros out in the world. You still have 30 million people that are probably going to be buying. Hey, I haven't tried Control. Probably I'll try it out. I don't have a huge console. I just have the Switch. Why not see what the hubbub is all about?
Control is actually on the Luna channel as well. It's one of the 60 games with Control is one of the 60, like, I guess the best of the 60 games are with that list. $5.99 Luna channel. Again, Luna's still in early access. Who knows what that's going to end up being when it fully releases, but Control is one of those games.
Yes. So I think everybody voiced, what the next 5 years is going to be. Let's stick to Luna for a second and figure out what they think they're doing, like what we think they're doing with these channels.
They're
Do we think
becoming-
it's going to be?
I think they're going to become like a network. They want to become a network where they have.
That's what I'm saying. Do you?
Where they have every
Apple
they have
TV.
Rockstar, they have Ubisoft, they have EA, every channel that you can subscribe to if you want, and then like you're gonna have all those games for access. So I think that's what they're trying to do.
Even like an indie mega booth channel kind of thing. I can see stuff like that going on too.
Okay.
Like the Devolver channel, like
Yeah.
stuff like that, like even the small stuff. And I actually like it because I think it values the games more than just having you pay $17 or whatever it is, $15 and you get all these games, which is a good value, but I just don't think it's sustainable what Xbox is doing. And I think this is more sustainable. It also pays the individual publishers and developers more. So
I do like the idea of a la carte gaming or a streaming service. It's the same way, like it's the same way network television is going now for when you put it on to the internet. People are no longer. I forget the name of what is it? Verizon's XCast, where you
Verizon's Fios.
Wow, whatever you're picking, you pick your channels you pay for, and that's what your price is, so you don't pay for anything you don't want. I definitely think that's a good way to go for the future of streaming, especially for Amazon.
Okay.
I think
Aaron?
they're trying to monopolize Twitch. I
Yeah.
could see them
I
getting
mean-
themselves in a place where once they have enough people like gaming on their platform, that's the only place that people can also stream on Twitch. I think they see that as a
Yep.
huge grab right now, especially.
it's a lot of leverage.
I mean, yeah. You know, how many Twitch channels, like all of us are a part of, the Kind of Funny group as well. How many
Mhm.
Twitch channels have popped up since this pandemic?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah, I mean, when I went to get a new webcam, the guy at Best Buy, he's like, "Oh, sorry, we're sold out." I was like, "Yeah, a lot of Zoom meetings," and he goes, "Yeah, also a lot of people that just think they're a pro streamer now." I was like, "Okay, got it."
Don't you make
And
fun
so
of me.
I think if they could capitalize on that, where the only way you get to be on Twitch is if you're playing games through Amazon, like
That
a
would
big
be
move.
game
That
changer.
would be
That's kind of
big.
what
That's a PR.
I guess kind of what
nightmare.
Xbox is trying to do with Facebook, with when they cancel Mixer
what-
and switch to Facebook. Like they're trying to leverage that as well. And I mean, Google with
Stadia and
YouTube. I mean, yeah, it's
It's going to become a streaming war. And not just streaming like game streaming, but actually getting your streamers out there and you're pulling big names. And, I don't know. It could be really interesting. Like who does get Ninja promoting their streaming platform on their also then streaming platform? Like Ninja's playing Luna on Twitch, and that's the only place and the only way to do it. And then when you start doing what Google's doing, where you have these lines with Crowdplay, where people can jump in and play with these streamers, you
Yep.
start getting Amazon into that game, and they start having these big names, and you throw around that Bezos money that gets people like these big name streamers to come over, and you have that opportunity, you're going to capture a ton of people. So I think they're looking at a much bigger picture than just video games. I think they're looking at all these different channels of income that they can have that go along with it.
I will say, granted, this is not Luna, but this is Twitch integration doing something similar to Stadia. Is Baldur's Gate 3, which is doing crowd choice on Stadia, is also doing the integration with Twitch through Steam. Or Steam or whatever. I think it's Steam or Epic Game Store, but it is doing integration.
Yeah,
It's
so they're
Steam.
already moving in that direction. And I heard it was cleaner on Twitch.
So
Oh, boy.
my
People
only
liked how it functioned better.
concern about all this is it feels like Twitch is just a PR nightmare every week. Like there's a
Really?
big Twitch problem every week.
Or is it like someone getting banned or something? Is that you're
Someone
talking
getting
about?
banned, them
Somebody saying something shitty.
somebody saying it. When you hear Twitch in the news, 90% of the time it is not a good look for them.
Someone getting banned for like but suspended for like a week and then not banned, like that
Yeah,
you're saying, like
The whole
yeah.
ban hammer, all that. They're putting in ads now for like random times throughout the streams and putting the stream in the corner, which
Yeah.
is okay for watching lifestyle streamers and like XQC do his thing. But I use Twitch a lot to watch esports, and that happened to me while watching it because I forgot to subscribe when I clicked onto it. And in this hypest moment, just goes to a Red Bull commercial. I'm like, well, damn it. So Twitch needs to figure itself out. It's had a rough summer. The whole thing with Dr. Disrespect and everything else. before I see them being able to monopolize anything. Because over summer, YouTube has been the one to explode in that marketplace.
True. However, when you say that Twitch is always in the headlines every week, I don't see that, but I also don't pay attention to news. Even like I listen to KFGD on the regular, but I don't hear anybody like complaining about Twitch being.
They've talked about it before in KFGD. I mean,
but like that's
when
like
big stuff happens, but
exactly. So I have to say, sure, you can think that, but Twitch is. I would assume that Twitch is the place where pretty much everybody streams. If not, Dr. Disrespect has moved to YouTube, but we don't know why. We don't know what the hell happened with there. He could have violated the code of the conduct. I still see Twitch is here and YouTube is climbing up to it, but I don't think that YouTube is anywhere close to taking it down.
No, but I definitely think that's where the competition is going in the business space. And, to Jacob's point, even Facebook, how many of us have seen it where now it's promoted where you're just scrolling along and then suddenly there's just a streamer right there in your newsfeed. That's playing something. So streaming does two things, right? You're getting viewership. And then for those who don't subscribe, you are getting those ad dollars. And the advertising market is a different place in the world where we don't have cable and there's Hulu Premium and there's all these things that don't necessarily have ads. How are these businesses getting their names out there? They'll pay good money to be in front of these huge streaming events. And that's where the platforms are going to come into play. And you're going to have to fight for those big players if you do monopolize it. If it's like PlayStation can sit back and just be like, you know what, fuck this. Like we're single player people. That's what we're just going to be. If you have Xbox streaming on Facebook, you have Stadia streaming on YouTube, and you have Luna jumping in and saying we're exclusive to Twitch. I mean, that just pretty much takes care of the big three that anywhere people are going to pay attention. I don't see Sony like launching a streaming service. I think they'll just be like, okay, cool. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, I definitely don't see that. I don't see them launching like a Twitch or a YouTube or anything like that. I just, like you said, they're just going to keep doing what they're doing.
Don't they have a thing on there like through PlayStation you can stream to PlayStations?
I was about to say, actually, I think with the PlayStation 5, that whole new software, like you being able to do picture-in-picture with your friends in a party chat, like I can see that that tech is as good as it looked in that video. Granted, it's a ideal situation video. If that looked as good, if it works as good as that, I can see them leveraging that tech. Because I mean, they invested a ton of money in Gaikai, who is a streaming company. I mean, they had PlayStation View, which actually I was a subscriber for, and I actually enjoyed it before they canceled it.
I also
I thought was a great service. So I mean, they have the tech to do it. I mean, easily.
Sony's just waiting in the shadows.
It's just building the infrastructure. But the big thing is they don't have the server space to do anything like that, which they have already partnered with Azure.
Yeah.
So who knows? But again, that's them paying money to use they're not an ad company by any means, which the other three are. So Facebook, Amazon, and Google are ad companies first and foremost.
Yes.
So
they
get quiet over there.
I'm just wondering if Amazon Luna will do any damage to Stadia.
I think it will.
I think it will.
Yeah.
Competition
enough to make Stadia go away or no?
I don't think it's going to be enough to make Stadia go away. I think it'll be enough to hurt Stadia. Like all the things that Stadia said that they were going to do, the YouTube stuff. I don't know if it's happened yet. I don't think like most of the games you can't just play somebody's save state and play that part of the game. But I think Twitch, Amazon is smart enough to like, hey, we're going to sit back and watch what they screw up, how they screwed it up, what we can do to improve it, and how do we make it better? Which is the same thing as what we can do to improve it. But I'm just going to stick with that. I definitely think that Amazon is also watching in the shadows because they just brought this out of nowhere. We knew that they were thinking of doing a streaming service, but we that could have been just talk around the water cooler. So I think that they are just waiting to see like what could be the final blow if there is a final blow to Stadia.
They just released the early access keys, like I think this past weekend. I want to say so. It's like I didn't get a key, unfortunately. I didn't sign up for the early access, but we don't know how well it works on different internets as well. I have okay internet here, and Stadia runs fine on it, but who knows if Luna will be as good. I'm not sure where the Luna servers are compared to me. Like,
yeah,
a lot of that does factor in, and again, I know there are ads actually on Luna. If you're in a loading screen and you're booting up a game, there are ads as you're booting the game up. So, like, is that going to turn people off?
Probably.
Which Stadia's not doing that at all yet. So,
yeah, I don't like that idea. Just hearing that, I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk 2077 brought to you by Doritos.
I'm also wondering if Xbox Game Pass is going to have any factors towards the other services, because they do have a 100+ library with this one subscription where you can stream that to any device besides Apple, while the other services don't have any program like that. So I'm wondering if Game Pass
Luna does in a way, because you can buy the Luna channel, the Ubisoft channel, and different things like that. So they do have things similar. The Luna channel is a lot cheaper. The Luna channel right now is like $6. Granted, it's in early access, so that's not final pricing, but
yeah,
they do have something to compete with it. I think Game Pass is a loss leader. I think they're absolutely eating tons of money on that to get market share, and then they're going to jump the price up, just like Netflix is doing right now. I mean, they control market share and they up the price as they go.
I see Game Pass going up in price just because they do have so many games and so many services with EA Play coming now, or whatever it's called, EA Plus, EA.
It's EA Play, the lower one, not the pro one.
EA, okay. And I'm sure within maybe sometime next year, I'm sure we'll see a $5 bump, something, maybe $2.
Yeah,
that, or they'll figure out a way that you buy the game at full price and then it also moves into your library and you can play it anywhere. So anything that's not on Game Pass, you'll have that kind of a la carte option. I could see that as a viable solution for Xbox. Also, Xbox Game Pass isn't technically streaming anywhere, which I didn't know. I went to go stream Gears 5 on my laptop, and it makes you download it if you play on a PC.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
I was super pissed, only because I don't want to take up hard drive space, and I don't want to play this whole game. Not when I'm streaming. I want to just be able to hit the freaking button and play my game.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of a ding against Game Pass, and I'm sure they're working on it. But yeah, right now you actually have to download it if you want to play on your PC.
So you also brought up a interesting point, Aaron, about the file size of games nowadays. Call of Duty Modern Warfare is 200 gigs last time I checked.
Yeah, unreal.
PS4. And I think with ray tracing and 8K and 4K and all that hullabaloo, it's just going to get bigger. And when I saw that PlayStation was doing 800 and something gigabyte
Odd number.
Yeah, 800 and something gigabyte hard drive, I got kind of scared because I was like, okay, so that's probably going to be like 4 games.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if that's a plus. Well, I'm not really wondering. That's definitely a plus for streaming services, which is fantastic because, don't have to download anything. You could just start it up and it's good to go. But I wonder if that's gonna, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess like hurt us as consumers in the long run. Like, yeah, it's gonna take up. You got 15 people playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare on Stadia servers. What's the price point of Stadia right now? I think it's $11. 15?
It's free, and you can buy the games.
Stadia Pro. My apologies.
$9.99.
$9.99.
They need to do a bundle price, but that's besides. Yeah, but anywho, yes, $9.99 right now. So there's no bundle price. I
think they're gonna probably start charging but this is like way ahead in the future. I think they'll probably start charging like, oh hey, this game is like over 200 gigs. You're gonna need to either advance to Stadia Pro or get another membership that's like Stadia Premium, which is $20, and you can literally not download each game, but like you won't have a problem playing the game and hey, we won't do ads in this game if you go to Stadia Premium. And I'm not saying that they do ads now, but I think something's got to give.
See it at like a ad free like well it's already free like it's where it gets weird because it already free, so like doing an ad in a free version, but
what I'm saying is
it's possible.
You get what I'm trying to say, like
like just like your like free your
Stadia
$4.99
Pro
Hulu with ads and then your $9.99 Hulu without ads, like
exactly, yes.
But also for like you're saying with the quality and the size of the games and all that, you see a scenario where the free version, it will not run past 1080p. That's it. So if you really want the 4K stream and all that, you got to pay that premium subscription, and that will help with their server space and it helps with all that kind of stuff. So yeah, no, I mean, I totally
Pro. That is what they're doing on a Pro. Pro is free, is only 1080p, while Pro is 4K 60. Buzzword.
Yeah.
So 5.1 surround sound with Pro, but not stereo with normal. Like, so they're kind of already doing that with Stadia.
That's kind of crazy. Yeah.
Does anybody have anything they would like to bring up since we're like on the conversation of?
I just want to point out that you did mention about the file sizes for the next gen games. I did hear something about how the consoles will be able to download just like the single player portion and then the multiplayer portion are two different things where you can download each one separately or at the same time if you want. Like me, for instance, I'm going to pick up Call of Duty, but I'm just interested in the single player campaign. So there's no need for me to download the multiplayer portion. So I think that we're going to divide the game file in that way. So there's that.
And as tech is getting better, they're also trying to figure out how to make these game file sizes smaller.
Right.
I've heard that they're rolling out different patches to decrease file sizes on some of these massive ass games.
They've done that with
Epic
Call of Duty on Xbox.
Call of
Duty
do that
with Call of Duty on
Xbox.
Yeah.
Took
I
like
think it was Baldur's Gate.
15 gigs off of it, I think.
There was one
gigs
game that
200.
just started it, like the Embiggening. No, the something like that. I don't remember what it was, but they started it, and Call of Duty has started to
Warframe.
That's what it was. Warframe.
That game big?
I heard it was. Yeah.
I think that was like 100 gigs. They dropped it down to like 60 or something like that. Like they cut it by a good amount. But also I would say with PlayStation, with the new, or at least I know PlayStation touted it with the new architecture for their RAM and memory and whatnot, the whole SSD and everything. Mm-hmm. They've talked about being able to actually like at least the patching be a lot quicker too, so you're not downloading the whole 100 gig or 200 gig. You're downloading what you need to fix, and it can actually slot in as opposed to like replacing the whole file. Like instead of just wiping the whole file and putting a new file in, it's just fixing where it needs to fix. So,
which would be great.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
I mean, is it? Do we still have to talk about the powerhouse, Nintendo? No, I'm just kidding.
I have one question. I have one question. Do you guys think there's going to be any other developer or publisher that are going to launch their own streaming service that we don't know of?
I don't. I think at this point, studios are going to be hunting down those who are already doing it. I think Ubisoft's a great example of that with the Uplay Plus going straight to Stadia and Luna. I think we're going to see more of that side of things. And like I said, I think eventually what you're going to really see is, which is great for studios because it's job security for those guys. I think you are going to see like Ubisoft exclusive to Stadia, and you're going to see Bethesda exclusive to Microsoft, and you're going to start seeing these major players.
They bought them, so.
Right, exactly.
Better be.
And that's what I'm saying. I could see Google making a play like that with Ubisoft and being like, hey, we want this exclusive to us. As we start going, and like I said at the very beginning of the podcast, that's where we'll start seeing this kind of like Netflix versus Hulu versus yada yada. So
the only company I could see actually doing it would be Epic, and like Ryan said before, but I don't see that realistically happening. But then, what was I gonna say? To say something else. But that's like that's a big one. I can think they're the only ones that I think would. But other than that, I think it's gonna be all just jumping on a partnering, like Aaron said.
Okay.
And I think Stadia's proven that they also want to be a real contender. And again, I have no problem saying that they didn't have a good start and they are fighting an uphill battle. But their marketing team has been
Are
fire.
you sure you can say that?
What's your
I don't want to get
Don't kill me
anybody
in my
fired.
sleep.
I don't want to get anybody fired. All right.
I'm breaking
just
my
saying.
NDA right now.
Okay. All right.
Um, I think this last month specifically, we've seen a ton of stuff that Google's trying to do to move in the right direction. Their marketing team's been on point. They've been a lot more active on social media. They've been having a lot of fun. They replied to somebody on a Cyberpunk post that was like, "Rip to all those people who have huge download sizes and all this stuff." Like they're coming out of their shell, and I'm really excited to see what they do in a couple of weeks for their 1 year anniversary. I think they're gonna have some big announcements. And Cyberpunk was a huge move, and I think they're proving that they're here to stay for a while, and they're willing to do what's necessary to be competitive. And I think they've learned a lot from Xbox, and I hope that they can learn a lot from Luna as well and continue to evolve and continue to just become a better platform.
It's been a year.
I hope.
Yep.
I would say
November 19th.
It's been
Cyberpunk was supposed to release
November
that day.
19th will be a year.
Dang. That was the exact date and everything.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And what a fucking year it's been, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Glad I had stream gaming to get me through it.
Jacob, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say something. And I'm losing it right now.
Well, Comes back, you can
Yeah.
feel free to cut me off. All right.
No problem.
Okay.
Dig deep into the beard. It's there. I believe in it.
Yeah. All right. I think that pretty much, wraps up what my discussion has been. I don't know if anybody else wants to bring something up to the table and
About
talk
streaming?
about anything
Anything?
related. Yes. Anything. And no, I'm going to tell you right now, Splinter Cell is not coming to Stadia. All right.
I just want to talk about maybe let's all pitch our ideas for
That's
the new
not true.
Splinter
If
Cell.
they release Splinter Cell, we have Ubisoft Plus now. It's coming to Stadia. It's going to be streaming
Is it-
only, and you can only get it on
Again-
Stadia or Amazon.
Guys, don't do this to him. All right. I am trying to bring him back to reality.
Splinter Cell exclusive to
Man,
Stadia. You heard it here first.
That's what they're gonna say on
Nick,
that
what would
wire.
you do though?
Cry.
And that's a good question. Nick, what would you do?
He'll cuddle
Cell is
his
exclusive
he'll
to
cuddle his
Stadia?
cat and cry.
Would you become a Stadia boy? I don't know what I was going with that. A Stadia guy with if Splinter Cell came up on Stadia and only Stadia.
If that was the case, I would get Stadia.
Wow.
Thing is, you don't need to get if you want to get my ad in. You don't need to get Stadia. You
already have it. You just
all you need
need
a Gmail
to
account. You have Stadia.
Yeah. Plus,
Oh,
if you sign up
God.
for what is it, the first month of Stadia Pro, the other person with my invite
Yeah.
code.
Or my invite code.
Get it for free?
I mean,
Or my
I can put your invite code in the link below. That's all
Yeah,
I'm saying.
I'm joking.
Okay. Well, I'm
Yeah.
not. So you think about that. Okay. I think that covers about everything I need to say. Like I said, anybody else have anything they want to say? Aaron?
I'm just excited about the future of streaming and cloud gaming in general. I think it's been a fun ride, and is it sad occasionally when we have these missteps? Sure, but it's been really cool to watch this kind of evolve over just the course of a year and watch these other players come out. And it's like I've loved video games for a very, very long time. But this has brought it to like a new invigorating level where I'm playing a lot more games than I had in like the last couple of years, just because of that ability to do it anywhere. I was so excited about the Switch for this exact reason. Honestly, just that mobility is awesome. But now to have it in a little bit higher quality and get all these different games that I've always wanted to play and just sit on my couch with my phone or my laptop or whatever, it's awesome. So I'm excited to see how this thing keeps evolving, keeps growing, and how it's going to change the industry, because I truly believe this is a defining moment in gaming industry that it's going to shake and it's going to change a lot.
Okay. Now, I just need to point out, like when you say it's been a fun ride, it kind of sounds like it's dying down, and I don't want that to happen.
Oh no. I'm just saying so far over the past year, it's been really cool. Like everything that's happened. And no, I think we're just ramping up on this ride. I think
Do the Stadia
we're in for a
boys
lot more.
have some doubt?
No, of course not.
Never. We
Never.
resolve when it comes to Stadia.
Ride or die, I like it.
Nick,
Critical of Stadia. We've been absolutely critical of Stadia Go watch
Yeah.
our the last Connect reacts. Oh,
I
we
saw.
went, we went,
but
we went
again,
hard in the paint.
I'm just. I really hope nobody gets fired. All right.
Can we get those employee
Like,
numbers one more time?
4491.
Nick, do you have anything else you'd like to say? Any last words?
Last
today's episode.
words for today's episode. I've been playing Ghost Runner, which is a really fun game.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We have a new segment. I'm sorry. We have Nick's review corner.
Ghost Runner.
Yeah.
Think of Celeste, 3D Celeste with enemies that shoot at you, and you can slow down time and change momentum in midair. And it's a really fun, quick-paced puzzle platformer. And it's one of those games where you die, you instantly respawn. So that's a plus. And
Okay.
Watch Dogs Legion, I'm about 2 hours in, and I don't know yet.
Really? That game looked like it was wrapped in this. Wrapped up. You sure you opened that puppy?
It's in the Xbox. I've been playing
Okay. All right. Okay. That's RIP for Nick's Xbox.
Oh, it is
How
open.
warm your Xbox feeling right now?
Is it currently running? Watch Dogs Legion.
it. Yeah, it's in there right now. If I just hit quick resume to this Watch Dogs, and right there, like, oh, I'll be playing. You guys want to watch?
Quick resume. Do you have the Xbox Series X?
Oh shoot, NDA.
Oh, I'll cut it out. I'll cut it out.
Somebody else about to get fired.
My employee number
Jacob.
is 4599. So check it out.
Whoa, interesting. That's also the same number as them, huh?
Hey, you know what, Ruben? I think I can stream like this. Yeah, what do you think?
Again, the camera is a little wonky, but I think you could definitely stream off the Xbox.
What do you think? This looks
Totally
good,
up to
right?
you. It looks very. Are you on Wi-Fi right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that explains a lot.
This is the future of streaming,
Jacob.
boys.
Please, Nick, put on your headphones.
Sorry.
That's okay. Jacob, any final words for today?
No, I mean, yeah, just that. I think everyone, hopefully, if you're listening and you haven't tried Stadia already, give it a shot. I think today was the last day for Phoenix. I'm not sure if it's still up there or not. Or Immortals Phoenix Rising. I keep getting the name wrong. Not a great name. But
It's not.
yeah, I mean, I hope you took advantage of the Nine Get Pro to play some games. I tried all three of the games. I thought they were Humankind. Couldn't really get into. The tutorial wasn't great for that, but the other two I thought were fun. So yeah, I hope you are at least keeping your opinions open for streaming future. I've always been a very, like you said before, Ruben, a very physical media guy. Like I don't buy games digitally, but I've always been so interested in streaming since OnLive, like following that tech for a long time. I'm a big tech guy. I love following the tech news and whatnot. So
Okay.
I think it's the future, and I think you should always give it an honest shot, especially since there's so many options now. So
I agree.
I love to compare Stadia and xCloud and that kind of stuff. So I'm not here to just be a Stadia fanboy. I can't wait to get my hands on Luna. So
Listen,
yeah, you got to try it all.
that was going to be the hush hush. I was going to ask you next
That's
time
right.
if you wanted to be on,
Oh, my bad.
Okay,
when we
that's
get when we get the Lunar early access codes, we'll be on next.
Listen,
That's right.
I'm also getting not also getting, but I applied for one, so
Yeah.
I'm feel free to invite me on. Speaking of
That's right.
Stadia,
Of
okay,
course.
all right, cool.
Absolutely.
Ryan, any last words?
I'm interested to see the future of this whole cloud gaming thing. It's an interesting road. It's a bumpy one, but I'm interested.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. We have one final segment, and I keep forgetting about this fucking segment. Plugs. Aaron, anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter at Aaron Seaney, SEANEY. And please follow us on Twitter at Speak of Stadia. It was just not quite
That's
too,
okay.
too many letters.
I
too many
know.
letters.
I know the feeling.
And check out our podcast. We're on everything. We've been having a great time. We just dropped our 11th episode. it gets a little wild. We get a little crazy, but it's always fun. So if you have any interest in Stadia and you want to keep up on that news, check out Speaking of Stadia. We're on everything except iTunes, but I finally got through that wall and we should be on there very soon.
Oh, boom. Okay, good.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah. Nick, anything you'd like to plug?
Just two things. I posted a YouTube video yesterday on youtube.com/fearnickg, and also follow me on Instagram at @thatstrongnerd. Exactly how it sounds.
Okay.
Some really sick deadlifts. Nice.
Yeah, it's very sick
Yeah.
deadlifts. I'm very excited for him to show us what he's planning for December.
Man, that's another thing I was going to talk about. Man, the Cyberpunk got delayed to the 10th of December, which is a Thursday, and my meet is that following Saturday. So
so you're missing the meet.
I don't
So
know.
you're not gonna be alive for that meet.
You're missing the meet, is what you're telling me.
I don't know. It's up in the air right now. I'm gonna be frank.
Okay.
It's up in the air. It's not looking great for the meet. It's looking great for Cyberpunk, but I mean, it's still,
He's just gonna body mod himself. You're just gonna body mod yourself so you lift really big, real big weights.
That's fine.
I mean, we'll see what happens.
Can you try to see if you can push the meet like closer to you?
I was gonna DM the meet director. Just, hey man, I need this meet to be pushed. So, but no.
Just be like, I got a really bad surgery coming up on that day. You can think of something.
It sucks. It sucks. Yeah. As soon as I saw that new date, I was like, oh my god.
Dude, it's 2020. You just gotta say tested positive for COVID. Sorry.
This is true. This is very true.
This is true.
There's pros and cons on both things. I mean, if I don't do the meet, I'm gonna feel bad, but I'm also gonna miss Cyberpunk. If I do the meet, I'm gonna miss Cyberpunk weekend. So, I mean, I don't know.
You're gonna be
just
behind.
one weekend, right?
But what if Ruben was a massive spoiler on the podcast?
No, I wouldn't do that to him. He'd probably be.
Would you?
No, I wouldn't do that to him. I know how he's been very excited for this game, but like almost excited as Splinter Cell. So I wouldn't really do that to him.
I was on this pre-show. I think you'd at least drop fake spoilers just to mess with him.
I mean, I kind of would. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of would. Jacob, anything to plug?
Yeah, I'm not active very much on Twitter, but it's Too Tall Porter with the O's being zeros because someone took that already, I guess. Again, we are at Speak of Stadia. We are also on YouTube as well if you want to see our actual faces as we record. Hopefully, we might start streaming it. We got to figure that out. But also, that I think I'm Too Tall Porter on Instagram as well. I'm way more active on that. So if you want to follow me there.
Okay. Ryan, what are you plugging?
I'll be plugging my Twitter. You can find me for whatever the hell I'm up to at RyanTheLion3055.
Okay.
What about you, Ruben? What you got?
Did you stream this week?
I have not streamed
about me. Did you stream this?
Some problems with the setup. Okay. Some problems with the setup. We'll get in there though.
Okay. All right. You could follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and that's it at Pen Conquest and Twitch.tv/Penultimate Conquest. I was supposed to be streaming BioShock this whole week, but it's been a really shitty week at work, so I've been dead once I get home. But I'll be probably streaming. Yeah, I'll probably be streaming when this episode comes out, which is tomorrow. I'll be streaming tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, so stay tuned for that.
It's spooky.
Yeah. As we said, that's not a spooky game, so I don't know what you guys are talking about. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on, Aaron and Jacob. I really appreciate it. You're welcome back anytime. So feel free to just send me a text, be like, hey, I want to talk about this. It's not Stadia related, but I want to shoot out.
That'll never happen.
Okay, well,
it'll always be Stadia.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Like, if you have a hot take, this podcast is known for their hot takes, so I wouldn't have a problem with that. All right.
Nice.
Okay.
Will do.
All right, guys. Have a good night. I'll see you next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
Send Craig out.